Okay, so get this. Someone sent us this document called Master Manifestor.
Oh.
Right. And it's all about like facing your fears and, creating the future you want, like really shaping your destiny. And it's intense.
I
It
bet.
has a lot to unpack. So luckily we have you here to help us break it down.
Happy to dive in.
Yeah, let's deep dive into this Master Manifestor thing.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I got to say the language is, well, it's interesting. It uses one
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, like instead of saying you, it says one will do this or one will achieve that.
Hmm.
Almost like it's speaking to this like universal truth or something.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's definitely trying to tap into something bigger than just, individual experience.
Right, like these principles apply to everyone no matter who you are.
Mhm.
So it jumps into this section on overcoming fear. And get this, it straight up calls fear an illusion, right? It's like one is not afraid. And it really positions the reader as like the hero of their own story. Have you seen this before in personal development stuff? This kind of framing?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a pretty common theme. A lot of these approaches really emphasize like personal agency, that we
Yeah.
have more control over our lives than we might think.
Right.
And it can be really empowering, that shift away from feeling like you're just a victim of circumstance to like owning your choices, your actions.
But I mean, isn't that a bit oversimplified? Like, life's messy. Things happen that are totally out of our control.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's not about pretending like everything is sunshine and rainbows,
Right.
but it's about, focusing on what you can control, your mindset, your reactions to things. It's not a magic bullet, but it can be a helpful framework.
Yeah. No, I get that. So the Master Manifestor document then goes on to this section about empowering oneself. And it's all about becoming like the best version of yourself, awake, strong, intelligent, resilient, motivated, independent, like the whole package.
Yeah, that's a pretty common goal in personal development, right? To achieve that kind of holistic well-being.
Yeah, totally. And it even says that every choice is an opportunity for like growth, change, freedom, transformation.
Interesting. It's like each decision is a chance to step into your power.
Yeah, exactly. So like what would that actually look like? I mean, what are some concrete actions someone could take to, actually embody this empowerment thing?
Well, I think a great starting point is mindfulness. Like, even just taking 5 minutes each day to sit and focus on your breath, that can be incredibly powerful.
5 minutes.
Really?
Seriously.
Mm.
It sounds simple, but it can make a huge difference in terms of self-awareness.
Mm.
And from there, it's about setting boundaries, learning to say no to things that drain your energy or don't align with your values.
So basically, taking control of your time and energy.
Exactly. Because when you're constantly saying yes to everyone else, you're essentially saying no to yourself. And that's not very empowering, is it? Definitely not. Okay, so now the document takes a turn. It goes from this like personal empowerment stuff to talking about manifesting opportunities.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's like, boom, you are powerful beyond belief. And it claims that we can shape our future through intention, like literally create the reality we want.
That's a pretty bold statement.
Right. It even suggests starting small, aligning spiritually, and then like building from there. And there's this wild affirmation it gives. One activates a new reality on earth, a reality of peace, love, freedom, prosperity, abundance, and awakened living now.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I know. So I got to ask, like, how realistic is this whole manifestation thing? I mean, can we really just think our way into a better life?
Well, the idea that our thoughts and intentions can influence our reality is definitely fascinating, even if, the science behind it is still being explored.
Yeah.
But it's important to understand that there are a lot of different interpretations of manifestation out there.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Some people connect it to the law of attraction. Others focus on the power of belief or visualize what they want. And some see it as a tool for like aligning your actions with your desired outcomes.
So it's not just about wishing for something and poof, it appears.
Exactly. It requires effort, action, and a willingness to like step outside your comfort zone.
Right.
It's not passive. And another misconception is that it's about controlling external circumstances when it's really more about shifting your internal state, your beliefs, your perspective.
Which then can like impact your choices and actions.
Exactly. It's about creating the conditions for what you want to manifest to, take root. And that takes work.
Makes sense. So this whole idea of manifestation, it reminds me of something I read about the placebo effect. Like even if we don't fully understand how it works, the power of belief can have a real impact.
No, absolutely. The mind-body connection is powerful. And sometimes just believing in something can make a difference.
Totally. So the Master Manifestor document, it definitely emphasizes action, like you were saying. It has this whole call to action section. It's like, all right, you're a Master Manifestor now, go out and shape a better future. And then it ends with all these hashtags. Hashtag Master Manifestor, hashtag Inner Courage, hashtag Empowerment, hashtag Manifesting Change, hashtag Fearless Living, hashtag Personal Growth. Like it's trying to connect to a bigger conversation.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's definitely a growing movement towards like personal growth and taking ownership of your life. And it's not just about, individual fulfillment, but also about creating positive change in the world.
Right, so it's like personal growth with a purpose.
Exactly.
Okay, so big picture.
hmm
What does all of this mean for the listener? What are the takeaways?
Well, I think the Master Manifestor document is really a call to action. It's about believing in your own power to create change, to face your fears and intentionally design the life you want. It's about becoming like the best version of yourself, that awake, strong, intelligent, resilient, motivated, and independent person.
Right. And it's not just about thinking positive thoughts, it's about taking action.
Exactly. And it's a journey,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen overnight. But even small steps in the right direction can make a big difference.
Totally. So here's a question for everyone listening. If you truly embrace this idea of being a master manifestor, what's one specific action you would take differently tomorrow? Something tangible, something that would shift you towards that vision we talked about. Think about it. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating deep dive.